what should you do after you throw the jab cross? Now, before we dive into this, there's two things I want you to think about. Types of defense, okay? Now, when you're boxing and you're defending, there's two ways you can defend, okay? The first way is through anticipating that a counter punch is gonna come. And the second way we can defend is through reaction based. So actually seeing the punch coming and dealing with it as it comes. Now, you might be thinking, what do you mean? What do you mean by anticipating a shot's coming? Now, for example, when I throw the jab cross, and a common way we can defend after the jab cross is by rolling out. Jab cross, rolling out. What you don't want to do is always wait to see a punch coming before we roll. Okay, you want to anticipate the punch coming so that as soon as I throw my jab cross, I roll. Now, if the punch does come, I move my head off the center line, I've taken an angle, and if the punch doesn't come, I've taken precaution to make sure I move my head out of the way. Now, two common punches that are thrown from the opponent once you've delivered the cross is either the lead hook or the straight right. So, me rolling gets underneath the lead hook. However, if they do throw the straight right, I still get out of the way. So that is anticipating a punch is coming and defending afterwards. Now, in the modern era, a fighter that does this really well is Devin Haney. You watch Devin Haney fight, as soon as he throws his shot, he moves out of the way. Floyd Mayweather was really good at doing it as well. It's just really good at being cautious and making sure that as soon as you punch, you move. Now, with the roll, 1-2 roll, a common thing that I see, especially in beginners or people who are starting to spar, is what they will do is they will start to roll before they finish the punch. So what should happen is I throw the combination and then I roll out. But what you'll see is out of fear of getting hit, the roll starts before the punch is even landed, so it might look something like this because you're scared of getting hit. So remember, this is very important. Commit to the punch and then move. You don't do them at the same time. Okay, you commit, then you move afterwards. So, anticipating, okay. Rolling out is a good way to, make sure you're safe. Now, you might be thinking, well, what's a reactionary defense? Okay, well, a reactionary defense after the jab cross might be the block. Okay, so you have to think, all right, and again, guys, I'm a southpaw, so I'm going to demonstrate for a southpaw versus southpaw, same as orthodox versus orthodox, okay? So, if the southpaw throws his cross to me, it's coming to my lead side. So if I block from here, I can counter with a cross, right? So it's a reactionary defense. I see the cross coming, I block, and I can counter. Now that means this works the opposite way. So that if I'm the one who's thrown the cross, they may block, and they come back with a counter. So the second defense we're going to go through, a reactionary one, is blocking the cross. I throw my jab cross, and I expect one coming back. Okay, so this is another way we can defend after the jab cross, especially when I'm working the bag. Jab cross, block. Okay, and then might mix it up, might add the roll in there. I might jab, cross, block, and then roll out. Okay, you can add them together. So, that's two things you can do after you've thrown the jab cross. Rolling out, anticipating the punch. You might even see the punch and roll out, and then blocking, more reactionary. Now, another thing you can do, a good way to exit after throwing the jab cross, is pivoting out. Okay, especially as a southpaw, I like to do this against orthodox fighters. So, how do we do that? Now, the way I like to do this is as I throw my cross, what I do is I take my head off the center line. Now, if I come and put my back to the camera just so you can see, I throw my jab, and as I throw my cross, I take my head off the center line. Now, this helps avoid any incoming punches, and from here I can just pivot out. And then if I need to step in again, I can. So my third way to defend after the jab cross is to pivot out. Okay, again, being cautious, always moving your head, either while you're punching or after you're punching. And my fourth way, what to do after the jab cross, is covering the distance. Okay, sometimes you might be a pressure fighter, you want to get inside. As I throw my jab cross, I might step in and cover the distance. Or I might want to tie the opponent up, come in, boom, boom, and I get my head under. I want to smother him. Okay? So, 4 ways or 4 things we can do after the jab cross. Anticipating the shots coming, we're going to roll out. Reactionary, we're going to defend with the block. We see it coming. We might even block the hook. 1, 2. Block the hook. We might pivot around, throw that jab cross, pivot around, and then we might cover that distance. 4 ways. Sometimes you would even see fighters like Golovkin, they would fall just short of the straight right, and they would actually take a step. So if I fall just short and take a step, it's a great way to cut off the ring, switching stance, but that's a lot more complicated, but you do see some fighters do that as well. So yeah, those are my 4 ways or 4 things to do after the jab cross. And yeah, remember, super important, you don't want to be standing there. Okay, you're not a sitting duck. Whenever you're working the bag, you don't want to be here and keeping your head there. Okay? Either you're moving your feet or you're moving your head. One or the other, okay? Now, what I didn't go through was basic footwork, but I'm going to throw these in quick. I might just throw a jab cross and take a step back. Okay, always a nice defense. I might add my slips or pulls. Okay, so you can add your basic head movement in there as well. But the 4 I really wanted to touch on was the roll and the block, just so you can help understand the difference between anticipating a punch and reacting to a punch coming. So again, if you like these videos, thumbs up, comment, share with your friends. I really appreciate all the support, and thank you guys so much.